Actually, if you see in 2008, there is no brand, there is no production, there is no product.
How you tackled the issue or how you tackled a problem and then solved it?
Almost 24 to 25 days in the field. I used to go to all the dealers, all the customers to understand what exactly they need.
2 or 3 success stories such which you can tell, because the viewer would be interested in knowing this.
We have to show, because everybody thought cement is only one commodity. What is the difference?
Now there's a company called VICAT. What is that company all about?
Everybody thought cement is a dusty job, but it is not so.
When you have 2 brands, very powerful brands, one is Bharathi and one is VICAT.
It is an independent this thing. There is no clash for the brands.
How do you manage a company like this as a head of marketing of 2 companies actually?
We have to give the best quality product.
So you're talking of something 16 years in this company now, is it correct?
Compare cement industry from the beginning. Initially, our cement industry was under control.
If given a chance, I would do it again, something different.
Maybe in the initial period, I would have got thought on those lines.
Are there anything that you said, okay, this is a company where I think there's a lot we can learn from?
Naturally, always, whoever is number one, they will do much better than the others.
Welcome to Business Conversations on HyBiz TV. I'm Suresh Kochatal. Usually during a business conversation, we strike up to the business point directly without going around much. But today's conversation is different. We have a special gentleman who needs no introduction, but still I will need to introduce you. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ravinder Reddy.
Thank you, Mr.
Namaskar,
Suresh.
sir.
Thank you.
As a Director Marketing and Head of VICAT India, how do you think, Head of Marketing of VICAT India, how do you think you have grown in life? So let's start a path of the journey. We will start from your basics. We will ask you as to where do you hail from? How was your early days, your education, your family, your parents, your siblings? Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, basically, we are from Karimnagar district of Telangana state, where a small village 10 kilometers from Peddapalli. I born and brought up there. Up to my schooling was done there only in the government school. So my father is basically from agriculture family. So my mother is housewife. Myself and my sister, we are the 2 people, children for my parents. Then I started higher education in Hyderabad. After 7th class, then I moved to Hyderabad. From here, I started my up to graduation in Hyderabad. Then post-graduation, I did it in Orissa, MBA marketing. Then the journey of starting either a business or a job, this kind of thinking was there. That finally I chose to be a career-oriented person. So I started my career first as a management trainee in Priyadarshini Cement, which is now called as the Rains Industries Limited, which is a Priya Cement brand. That was my first job, where I worked almost 11 years there. Then after that, I moved to Penna Cement, another decade of service there. Then in 2008, I joined Bharathi Cement as a director.
So all your life, all your professional career has been with the cement industry. Now, when you did your MBA, and usually people get into soft stuff, that is, they get into consumer durable, or sometimes they get into consulting. But what made you get into cement industry as such? I'm talking of the early days. Now, of course, that question is no longer relevant. But those days, the early days, if you tell somebody I'm working in a cement company, they would rather not, think highly of you. What made you go into cement as such?
It was basically the economy was not fully opened in 1980. Yes, it was just a beginning of those economy start period. That time, this is one of the core sector. Cement is one of the core sector. That's why I chose to be in the core sector, which will help to country to grow. So because whether you require any infrastructure, any growth in the country, this is a must. And we are having a huge population country, which needs a lot of infrastructure. That's why core products like steel, cement, other building materials, which are very, very useful for our country. That is the reason this is one of everybody thought cement is a dusty job, but it is not so.
So first of your 2 companies which you worked, before I get into the Bharati part of it, what are the early lessons that you learned in these 2 companies where you worked?
Basically, we have to understand the market well. To understand the market well, we have to be in the field. That was the first lesson. In my initial job, I used to be almost 24 to 25 days in the field.
Okay.
So that was I used to go to all the dealers, all the customers at end users to understand what exactly they need. That was the basic understanding, and what kind of services they want, what is the delivery period, how fast we can deliver, what is the quality, how it is. These are the three important points.
16 long years these days when loyalties are very suspect. Staying with the company for 60, the earlier two companies also, you had very long tenures. Now, when you look at Bharathi Cement and the way you grew, you said you worked in the field right to the first company that you worked in, then to Pennar and others, the Priya Cement to Pennar and then to Bharathi. Being on the field, I mean, I was also a sales guy, so I know how tough it is to stay on the field, motivate your team. How has been the growth? Once you came into Bharathi, how have you seen the brand grow from where it is today, from where it was before?
Actually, if you see in 2008, there is no brand, there is no production, there is no product. We started this commercial production in 2009 September. That was the journey. Then we prepared a network much before the production. Around 500 to 600 dealers joined this company. That is because of the faith. That is because of the work what I did in earlier companies. They could see. So once we tell something, we promise, we deliver. That was the basic thing. What they require customer, they need a good quality, they need a good service, they need a good profit. These are all the important things. If they have a good quality, good service, they have a less quality issues, they have a less time to spend other issues, they'll focus more on sales and they improve their own business. That was the basic understanding I got from the dealers and other customers. So we focused there. Here also when we started, we wanted to be different from the industry. What is the difference? We have to show, because everybody thought cement is only one commodity. What is the difference? Then we shown a difference in packing, in technology, in deliveries, everything we changed it. What is our packing? Earlier there used to be gunny bags and ordinary pappy bags, stitched packing bags. That we replaced with polypropylene laminated bags, which was not there in India. First time we introduced that packing. And second thing is, consistent quality is important in every bag. It is not that one bag is excellent, one bag is average, one bag is poor. That should not be there. This was the problem in the industry. But we have taken care. It should be excellent quality. What is that excellent quality? You have to be consistent throughout the year, all the production lots. For that, in the manufacturing process itself, we have taken care RoboLab, which monitor almost 24 hours, every hourly sample. And not only the cement, we test every raw materials so that you get a final output quality. That was the basic approach. Then we did use a better technology, German technology mills we imported. So it can grind almost 260 to 300 tons per hour, which was the largest cement mill in the world. So those kind of innovations we did it. And we have given a lot of technical services, mobile services. Our van used to go to the customer place and they check the cement quality, and they can check our cement, they can check competitor cement. If mine is not the best, I used to offer them what you want.
Okay.
So in that challenge, we stood first.
That's what, I mean, something unique, because when you're talking of teams on the field.
Then we did good campaign, branding campaign across all the media, whether it is television or outdoor or POP point or anywhere. So that has given, and slowly people have tasted the cement, dealers have understood, then the real premiumness has come in the market.
So when you're talking about the brand as such, I know Bharathi today is omnipresent. You have associated yourself with sport, with entertainment, with everything that is there to reach out to those final customers who are there. How do you actually, when you look at the marketing as well, because this huge experience that you have, it was not like before. Today the market is fragmented. Today the way to reach is possibly not even through television or print, it is through social media or even
digital, everything. Yes.
Digital, outdoor, innovative outdoor media and all that. Not just outdoor, innovative. So how has the change happened from the last, say, 15 years or 10 years to where it is now?
First of all, if you go back, there was no branding in cement earlier days. The branding just started only after 80s. Then product categorization. What is the product quality? What is the strength? What are the properties? This is the explanation we have started. Technical brochures. That was the first thing. Second thing is, we had more than 100 civil engineers, and we have trained them in our laboratories and factories. Then they went to the market and they understood customer needs. What kind of customer needs, what kind of product. So we started delivering those products.
Okay.
So the basically understanding customer is most important, which we could do it and we could deliver it.
So when you talk to reaching customers, your customers will be in every nook and corner of the country, apart from big customers, the small ones, one who's constructing a house or a small shed or anything like that. That you require a huge network. And building a network is not easy when you have so many competitors in the field already. Then there is your team which needs to go and build this network. How do you do all this? How do you motivate them?
So basically, the philosophy is right from the beginning is very clear. We have to deliver good service, good quality product, and trouble-free management. That was basically needed at all the levels. Then only customer will trust us and he will accept us. For that, we used to motivate our team. We used to train our team from time to time that do not compromise on premium, do not compromise on quality service, do not compromise on quality. Check the third-party laboratories, our product. Not only our own laboratories. We can always say ours is the best. But the third person should say third-party laboratories. We used to test the cement in all the different laboratories, either in Chennai or in Bangalore or in Hyderabad, different third-party laboratories. Those certificates is the credentials for this thing. Then their own laboratories, ready-mix companies, they have a laboratory. They will also check. That is the proof, real proof. That's how we have been done. And it is not that we started, whether it is packing, whether it is bulk cement, whether it is road, whether it is rail, whether it is direct delivery, whether it is a small delivery through warehouse, everything we organized. We, in fact, movement from the factory to all the locations, we did it entire South India and Maharashtra. Ensured that customer gets within 4 to 8 hours immediately cement for the short requirements, big requirements within 24 hours. This was our delivery schedule commitment.
Well, that is the story of Bharathi which you talked about. Now there's a company called VICAT, spelled as VICAT, where you are the head of marketing. What is that company all about, sir?
VICAT is nothing that they have a legacy of 200 years. It is from France, the company. In fact, Mr. VICAT has invented the artificial cement first, but did not take patent. They have rich experience. They partnered with Bharathi Cement, and we have a joint venture with VICAT Group. VICAT Group is well known in the globally because this is the oldest company, and they have presence in almost now 12 countries apart from India. This is the partnership we have with VICAT. That's why it has become a big popular name in the country, not only in the country, in the international level.
But when you have two brands, very powerful brands, one is Bharathi and one is VICAT, do you operate in separate geographies or do you compete in the open market also?
Yes. In southern all states, we are operating as a Bharathi brand. Only state of Maharashtra, Mumbai, all these places, we operate as a VICAT brand. It is an independent this thing. There is no clash for the brands.
Okay.
Separate geography is there.
When you talked about the lower level, your networking, how you build your dealership and all, but there is also this management philosophy at the top, because when you have to grow as a company, your management philosophy has to be different. It has to be more encompassing. It has to be all over the place. How do you manage a company like this as a head of marketing of two companies actually?
Basically, the philosophy is same from top to bottom. Whether it is our shareholders, whether it is our board of directors, whether we operating level team or below the team, everybody understood that we have to give the best quality product, we have to give the best services, we have to be innovative, we have to be always upgrade ourselves from time to time, whether it is technology, whether it is anything, including the upcoming topics like CO2 reduction. All these things we have been well in advance. And if you come and see, both the factories are having solar energy generation. Okay. So that's what we started, green energy. So we look much ahead of everybody.
So when you're talking of cement as a brand, it is no longer cement as a brand. It is no longer a vanilla brand as we call it. There are so many subcategories there is premium positioning of the brand. Do you see a separate segmentation going ahead also? Who are these premium buyers for you, sir?
No, generally there is a psychology in the human. Somebody is quality conscious, somebody is a cost conscious. Cost conscious people will go for the lower brands, and brand conscious, quality conscious people will go for the higher brand. That is very clear. Segmentation is there in all over the world, whether you take cement or any product. So we focused on quality, we focused on brand, we want to be in the niche category. So that is the reason our focus is always what kind of needs are required to have this brand sustainability for longer time. Those things we will do it.
When you look at the India as a country, I mean, especially in the last 10 years now, ever since Prime Minister Modi took over in 2014, and even just before that in 2012 onward, there has been a very huge spending on national highways, on core sector projects, so be it power, be it other big industries. Now we are seeing defense as a big spender. Do you think, I mean, the way the core sector grows, because cement being one of the core sector products, every time there's a measurement done on the growth of the country in terms of the industry, cement always features in it. Do you think the impetus of the Bharatmala project, the Sagarmala projects, and other highway projects, both within the state and outside the state nationally, has given a huge growth to the cement industry, sir?
Yes, if you compare cement industry from the beginning, initially our cement industry was under controlled.
True.
There is called levy cement. There used to be allotment from the collector, that kind of thing. Then government started introducing the partial decontrol, which was around 80s. Then full out of control, and then it is a free system from 1990s onwards. If you see that time onwards, cement industry has never looked back. It is going forward and thinking always ahead of the country's requirement. So capacity started from 200 million to 300, 300 to 400, 400 to 500. Today we have reached almost installed capacity of 700 million tons in India. This is the second largest in the world. China is having more than 1000 million tons capacity with more than 1 billion population. We are also having more than 1 billion population. We are still second, much below the China. So what kind of infrastructure, what we are getting today, it is a beginning phase. It has to take off further. In fact, last decade, if you see, earlier we used to build 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers per day average national highways.
Yes, sure.
Now it has gone hundreds kilometers, 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers per day. This is how it will go into this. Suppose airports, how many airports we used to operate 10, 20 years back. Today you see how many new airports have come. Seaports you see. So everywhere infrastructure boom is started, and it will take off further. And of course, we require so many houses for our more than 1 billion population.
True, sir.
And also we require a lot of infrastructure for so much population. So it is not the end, it is only a beginning. You see much rapid pace in coming years. All the sections, either railways or seaports or airports or road, anything, it will have a big infrastructure push in the next coming decades.
When you speak of the core sector growth, and as you keep growing along with the rest of the industry, Bharathi also grows, VICAT also grows as a brand. But there must be some moments of success in your journey, or right from your first company, then Priya to Penna to Bharathi. Do you remember 2 or 3 success stories such which you can tell? Because the viewer would be interested in knowing this, because it's not just about selling cement, but how you tackled an issue, or how you tackled a problem and then solved it, or it may be anything else that you want to speak about.
No, it's nothing, because it's over a period of learning process, we understand and we improve. That is the basic thing. It's a learning process, never stops.
That's true.
Whether it is anything. For example, you just check, there are so many awards and recognitions for the Bharathi brand.
Yes, sir.
That itself speaks that what we are. So it is not that 1 award, 2 award, we have plenty of awards in our showcase. So basically, whatever we do good, it will be recognized, it will be understood by the customer, it should be understood by everybody. So good means what? What a human being is required, you have to do that. Suppose somebody needs food, you have to arrange food. Somebody needs clothing, you have to arrange clothing. Somebody needs house, you have to arrange a house. These kind of. But to arrange that, what kind of products we have to manufacture, we have to be ready. Make in India policy is one of the best policy, where we have to think that everything we should manufacture. Why we should depend on imports? Why can't we do it? Which is a wonderful, innovative idea.
So your exports must be also, you're also into big time exports also. How are you doing in the export fields?
No, unfortunately, the export India is much lesser share, it's less than a 1%.
Okay.
But India itself, it needs a lot of
Huge
cement.
power, that's true.
So basically, wherever you have some port-based unit, they are doing export. But really, if you ask, our consumption is 100% domestic.
Local, domestic.
Very sometime 1 or 2% will go to the neighboring countries. That's all.
I'll take one example of your innovation which you did, which you talked about earlier, about the bag part of it. In the early days, we had this cement bag, I still remember.
Gunny bags.
A lot of gunny bags we used to lose more cement than the cement in the gunny bag as such during the transit process. But what made you do that? Because the industry would have been thinking, why is this gentleman doing this? Why is this company doing this when the rest of the industry is not doing it? Did you face a situation when you introduced?
Yes, when we started, because that was the big challenge was, when we introduced the bag, it was the objection coming from the laborers. Because in India, cement is handled by the labor at every stage, whether it is railway wagon point or at shop or at consumer point. So carrying bag is a challenge for them. There was many objections that gunny bag easily we used to handle. This is a very delicate bag. How can we use it? We want little more payment. We said yes, we will pay it, because when they are having some difficulty, we have to understand and we have to pay. We made them to accept. Finally, when we made them to accept, competitors saw this product, something is looking very nice in the shop, something is very good. Why don't we? Everybody copied now.
So you coming from basically, as you speak about the awards and recognitions along the way, there must be also moments where you grew up from an agricultural family in Karimnagar, and there must be some early lessons which your parents taught you, maybe your father or mother, which stayed with you lifelong. I mean, coming from a small town like that to a big town like Hyderabad, how was the journey? What are the principles you learned?
Basically, they did not encourage me in the agriculture. The first thing is that they told me to study well. Okay, that is one thing. Then you look for the opportunities in career side. Those are the things they taught. Based on that, my focus was shifted there.
I know this question is not relevant to the discussion, but let me ask you, is agriculture still relevant? Is it still profitable to be as a career for the next generation?
Why not? If you really focus, but whatever you do, you have to focus. If you dedicate yourself to the agriculture, you will get profits.
I think the question is value add-ons. I see a lot of youngsters from IITs and all getting into agriculture but doing value add-on products. Anyway, so that other part of the discussion was about, when you're at the top of the level, when you're at the top of the pyramid, or when you're top of the mountain, when you're looking down, there must have been moments where you said, I wish I could have done this differently. If given a chance, I would do it again, something different. Are there moments like that in your life where you said, okay, if I get a chance, this time I'll do it differently?
Maybe in the initial period, I would have got thought on those lines. But when I got full freedom after 2008 to do what is liked by me or what liked by customers, I think now I have no regrets. Probably in earlier careers, I would have felt that, but now that there is nothing, and fully satisfied. I am really a delighted professional.
So, when you have a high pressure job, you must be traveling a lot and all that, and meetings and discussion. But there must be some moments of unwinding which you do. How do you spend your, I don't know, it's not called free time, but how do you spend your productive time outside the office?
Outside the office, productive time, morning, ultimately every human being has to focus not only his professional career, he has to focus on his health also. For health, morning walk is a must.
Okay.
Do some workout either in the evening or sometime, that is also a must. Then you keep your body fit. Then you must have some entertainment with friends or something, that is also a must. Relaxation also is required sometime in your either a weekend or something. These are all the things required for the life to be balanced both.
How do you like Mr. Ravinder Reddy to be remembered as? When people look up to you and say, oh, here was somebody, how do you like yourself to be defined as?
If anybody today recognizes me, Ravinder Reddy means Bharathi Ravinder Reddy. Okay. That is the name.
That's true. That's true. But in terms of a professionalism, this gentleman built this brand. This gentleman did this.
Yeah, that everybody understood now in the industry as well as the other people also.
Are there any business icons that you look up and idolize and say, people say, oh, Ratan Tata, somebody else, these are people who matter. Are there any such particular icons?
Naturally, in India, if you're born, you must not forget Ratan Tata. You must not forget Birla. These are the two names always you have to remember.
And among the cement companies, when you look at other brands, competitors maybe, but you will say, okay, this brand is also good. Maybe has something that I need to learn from, especially when you've got brand like VICAT coming from abroad, from France. They must have brought in a lot more technology, a lot more marketing skills, a lot more of branding. Are there anything that you said, okay, this is a company where I think there's a lot we can learn from?
Naturally, always, whoever is number one, they will do much better than the others. This is the fundamental we have to understand. For example, today in India, Ultratech is the number one. We can learn many things from Ultratech. This is my feeling.
And across consumer brands, I'm not just talking cement as a brand.
In each section, for example, you go to any other product. Whichever product you go, there will be a number one. Understand how that number one came, what they have done. That is what is important for us. We have to learn, that's all. It's a learning process.
Are there any regrets in your life that you felt that, no?
Nothing.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Ravinder Reddy. the Director Marketing of Bharathi Cements and Head of Marketing of VICAT, who's speaking to us about his journey of life, his professional journey, his personal journey, and of course, his business challenges and the opportunities. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.